Yo, it's your boy Ancient Albatross here again, flying solo by himself. I got complete rain tonight, so I'll be doing some solo play. But just as a quick reminder, if you haven't already, be sure to follow us here on Twitch, subscribe to us over on YouTube, and check us out on the Anywhere Door, where we are also live. It's a new streaming platform that Monty Cook Games had a hand in helping get off the ground. And yeah, it's basically a large collection of other Monty Cook Games content creators, and yeah, definitely check it out if you are interested in seeing more MCG type content. But yeah, without further ado, Al, what are we doing here tonight? Oh boy. So yeah, we are here to play some solo play. I've talked about it a little bit on the server. I am crossing up Predation and my upcoming book, or book that's in the works, the Entropic Isle, which is a more deadly game, kind of akin to Merkborg, and I'm happy to answer questions about the Entropic Isle as well. But yeah, as you can see, I already have my character sheet up there, and on top of that, if you're very keen-eyed, you see I have a section for wounds, and yeah, so I will be using the new wound system, and that also comes with blocking and armor and shield should they happen to come into play. My character currently does not have a shield or armor, so I don't think it'll come up. But if it comes up, it comes up. My character started off poor. But speaking of my character, he is a Narésh, the inspiring, stubborn mirror mage who daydreams often. And this character was made using the Entropic Isle instead of, instead of Predation. Let me go ahead and read the little premise I wrote up here. Sorry, I have like a million windows open to have all this going the way I want it to go or set up. But yeah, so let me go ahead and scroll down a little bit. Narésh, a talented mirror mage working for the Academy, becomes tasked with developing time travel magitech. After a few years of little progress, he finally discovered a major breakthrough that would enable time travel to the past. Determined to experience the magic tech himself, Narésh insisted he be the first human test subject. He only intended to go back 10 minutes in time for the first test, but there was an accident and a magitech actually sent him back 100 million years. Whatever the actual number would be to send him back into, Cretaceous era. Narésh found himself in an unheard of ancient era, an era where humans didn't exist and colossal reptiles dominated the land. But that didn't last long. After a few weeks of just barely living off the land and the few supplies he happened to have, things changed. Humans from the future found him in his ramshackle hut. These people knew nothing of magic, the Chaos God, or any of the plight Naresh's people have faced, but these were good people. They took Narésh in as one of their own. It turns out the future humans have been in this era for a couple decades already, but their establishments were quite far from where Narésh landed here. These towns and research establishments were overwhelming for Narésh at first, but he eventually acclimated to the culture. He helped where he could, and soon enough, he was just another member of society. Life was good for many years. The future people offered countless times to bring Narésh to the future where they come from, but he always declined. However, after years of assimilating and complacency setting in, Narésh decided it was finally time to see where his saviors came from. They loaded Narésh with them into their time travel apparatus, launched the initialization process, then at the end of the countdown, a klaxon blared. All the displays were short-circuiting and displaying error messages. Their planned trip to the future with Narésh had catastrophically failed. Being from an alternate future, Naresh's anomalous nature was too much for their technology to handle. Time travel never worked again after this. Blamed for their current predicament, Narésh now works tirelessly to help restore time travel. So basically I try to set this up like an episodic thing where Narésh will be going out and looking into rumors and whatnot into how he could possibly help fix the time stream. 1 second, I gotta open up the OBS because it was covered by everything just to see chat. But yeah, so I'm gonna start off with a little secret here that I didn't post anywhere else, or I didn't make mention anywhere else. But on top of time travel ceasing to work, as per the Predation lore, right? That was the last commute and time travel stopped working for them. Narésh, when he went to use the time travel apparatus, the Chaos God from his world actually got a hard beat on him because he was, again, trying to enter the time stream. It's this weird like ethereal like thing, and the Chaos God just has like, you know, some innate access to it, right? So as soon as Narésh went to use the time travel device, the Chaos God actually interceded and was part of the reason time travel stopped working there. But on top of that, you know, in this instant, and Narésh never told anyone about this. Narésh, in that instant when he entered the apparatus and they were going, you know, the countdown and it all failed, in his mind, he saw blackness. Normally he has like, you know, pretty vivid thought process, whatever, right? But he sees blackness. And suddenly just one big bright yellow eye opens. And he says, he hears in his head, "Ah, I finally found you, dot, dot, dot. Now your world, now your current world or your new world will pay, dot, dot, dot." And we'll go into some Entropic Isle rule stuff here, where now, in this instance, the Chaos God also changed the Cretaceous era world. If you know anything about, what you call it, liking, Merkborg, you know that the world can change, right? There's like a prophecy, and there's a table that the GM rolls on, and it changes how the world functions at a basic level. Like, but it's really open to interpretation. But the Entropic Isle has its own version of this. And yeah, we start with what is it? Not Chaotic Calamity, but Chaos Countdown. I'm not going to read the whole thing because I basically just explained it. Normally at the start of a day, the GM will roll one of these. We're going to probably go with weeks for this run. Difficulty 4, difficulty 3. I think I wrote it down in my notes somewhere, but either way, it'll be one of these for when we actually get into real gameplay. But just to start us off, we're just going to... It happens. Like, the first Chaos Countdown happens. The Chaos God found Narésh where he was and inflicted this upon his land, his current new land, his current new home, so to speak. And the world changes. So to change, to see what changes exactly, we roll a D66, which is D6, excuse me, 2D6 in order. And the first prophecy, and this is just how the whole lore, whatever, his tablets in that world start off, is, "You shall have no other gods before me, for I have toppled the heavens, killed all others, with no one to stop me, dot, dot, dot." And he goes into how he will change the world. Basically mocking humanity with like, "Hey, this is your future, I'm just showing it to you. Over time, this is all gonna happen." But let's go ahead and roll a D66 and see what happens to our Predation world, to Laramidia and Appalachia and all those places. Go ahead and open up the dice roller here. Change this from 2D20 to 2D6. And the way I'm using this is, it doesn't really show me, not 66, what? It doesn't really show me in the calculations here, like, the order of the numbers. So the leftmost die will be the first die, and the dice on the right will be the second die. Because you roll 2D6 in order for this. And that made it very easy. We got 6 and 2. A sacred weapon to be destroyed. Okay. So let me go mark that down in my notes here. I have a gameplay section. Here's some, if you're looking at the screen here, you can see some, we'll mark down one Chaos Countdown. Boop. And of course, after the 7th mark, the world ends. In Cretaceous period Predation, the comet hits. So yeah, or the comet becomes imminent in a day or two. Yeah, the world ends. But yeah, so we're also using some new Cypher rules, which you can see here. I was privy to some of the new stuff, so you can see that stuff here. And yeah, so let's go ahead and mark down what actually changed here in the world changes. Yeah, difficulty 4 test, so we're doing, I think that's, months left. So let me I did not copy it. I'm a dum-dum. It was a 6-2, sacred weapon to be destroyed. And sorry for the, amateurish nature of this stream. I don't solo stream often, and I like to stream how I would normally be playing. So if I was playing alone on my computer, I'd be playing like this. And again, sorry if I'm not responding to any chat that may be happening. All these windows cover everything, and I'm working on one monitor here. So yeah, thank you all for bearing with me and this slapdash setup here. But yeah, a sacred weapon to be destroyed. We can interpret it how we please. So I was gonna say within this world, and again, this is with solo play. There's a lot of like, my God, why am I not typing this right? There we go, M dash. With solo play, there's a lot of figuring out things on your own. Like you can consult the GM, what you call the GM emulator. A lot of stuff I like to wait. Why did all my notes and shit disappear? Is it because I minimized it? Oh my God! I actually have to alt tab. Haha! No. Hi Anthony. Sorry, bear with me on this. I'm getting all my things back on the screen here. I guess I should be alt tabbing to go between stuff. Again, very amateurish, but that is what it is. I forgot what I was saying now. Oh yeah. Sometimes we'll consult the GM emulator to see what this might mean, like a sacred weapon to be destroyed. But I actually had something in mind, because we're crossing these two settings. We're crossing Predation and the Entropic Isle. So I will say that when Narésh found himself here, a bit of that chaos magic followed him here, and there were things that either materialized through time anomalies, which again exist in Predation. Time anomalies opened up and they deposited things throughout the world of, Predation, Laramidia, Appalachia. I forget what the Grevac, I believe, is what the whole world is called. But yeah, these time anomalies, spilt out chaos magic from Naresh's world, the Entropic Isles, and deposited sort of chaos magic-y stuff from his world here. And a sacred weapon to be destroyed, we can say that something that materialized was, a sacred artifact. In the Entropic Isle, there's divine ruins that house, most of the time, sometimes not, divine artifacts that generally can be seen as from the populace, the general people, as sent from the heaven, remnants of heaven, to help aid in destroying the chaos god, right, or ending his reign or whatever, right? So with this prophecy, I would say that it is imminent. I would say we can roll dice on this. In X amount of days or weeks or something, there was a powerful artifact somewhere in the world that is soon to be destroyed in that time frame, and this powerful artifact would have been instrumental in either restoring time travel or putting an end to the Chaos's God connection to this world. But either way, that thing is going to be destroyed soon by something. Who knows what? I'm going to write that down just because I like that interpretation. And yeah, so something is on the way to destroy a powerful artifact that could have weakened, stopped Chaos God, or helped restore time travel. It will be destroyed by this unknown event in... Let's go ahead and roll some dice here, because that's what we're here for, to roll some dice, play some games. I think what would be a good amount of days for this? Let's say 2d4. At most it'd be 8. The quickest it'd be 2 days. Yeah, let's see what the fuck we get. Four days. It will be destroyed by this in 4 days' time. And there's no way for us to really know that. Like, this is just something that's gonna happen in the background. Narésh has no idea of this. He just knows that the world changed in some way. How it was gonna be canon in my world, like in the Entropic Isle world, is when the prophecies get fulfilled, or as they happen, there's a big stone tablet in the world next to a mountain, and this gigantic monumental stone tablet has inscriptions of each of these things. And when the prophecy gets fulfilled, or a prophecy is becoming fulfilled, it starts to glow like a purple-green highlighted-ish thing to show. It's just the Chaos God taunting you because he's so proud and like egotistical. Like, hey, this is happening. Like, this is now happening. I'm fucking up the world. So I would say in this world, well, actually, let's ask the GM emulator because we haven't done that yet. We'll ask the GM, would Narésh have had a, like, in this moment where he found out the world was changing, would he have had a flash of exactly what was changing? Would the Chaos God have also informed him of it? Like, in his cocky nature? I think so, but let's ask the GM emulator, because I'm not the only GM here. And this will give me time to explain how the GM emulator works. If you don't never seen this before, it's like a deck type thing based off the GM Apprentice deck that helps you play your games, solo play, or help you as a GM with inspiration or whatever. There's a lot of little tabs here, but right now we'll be using the yes or no, like, because we're asking the GM yes or no question. And the question is, did Narésh get a flash from the Chaos God of exactly what was happening? I'd say it's a high likelihood of happening, and if you look here, I don't know if my cursor is being captured, but you can see here, like, you can choose a low chance of yes, an even chance of yes or no, or a high chance of yes. I'm going to say it's a high chance of yes, because, again, he's very cocky. I don't think he would leave it out. But again, I'm not the only GM. The GM might hide this for some reason, so let's go ahead and hide it. Or, well, let's see what the GM... I'm going to re-roll this 3 times, because that's just the number I like. 1, 2, 3. And yes, the Chaos God did reveal. Chaos God did reveal this to Narésh. I need to change this font. This is not easy to read. My other font. Yo, let me pick bold. What the fuck? Alright, there we go. Font might be huge, but whatever. Yeah, so there we go. Now we played out what changed in that moment. In 4 days time, so I feel like, again, solo plays a lot of like going with the flow and figuring and get things out as you go. I think, oh cool, thank you for that, Devin. I think with that being said, we might wanna like go back or go role play that moment where it does happen, because I actually had intended in my mind for the current session we were gonna play to be like maybe a couple of years after this happened, so like Narésh has like gone through the ostracization of having caused this or being the seeming cause of it. But yeah, I guess we'll roleplay that out too now, because I think it would make sense to just go to that moment, because Narésh wouldn't be sidetracked, right? He'd try to figure out where the hell this device is, or whatever, right? So I think that would be a good first session, like whether he gets to rescue, save this device, or whatever, whether he can get to it in time, we'll figure it out, right? I think that's a good way to start this off. So let's go ahead and yeah, I actually written a little starter down here about like where Narésh lives. He's heard rumors of something useful found in Appalachia, but we'll go ahead and flip this around again. We go with the flow. We keep things loose. When we so not rumors of something useful, it was flash of excuse me, it was taunting message in wait, why is it 2 E's? In Naresh's mind. I think my thing auto corrects. I don't know how to type the capital E with the exclamation, the accent. I do want to do okay. So a taunting message in Naresh's mind from Chaos. I'm typing in all caps because this is like a big moment to be found on app. Oh, we'll say that then. We'll just go with what I had written already. That he got a flash in his mind that it's somewhere in that area and on that continent. We live on La Remedia, whereas Colano's located, which is like the more populated, what I'm looking for, developed place. So it's in Appalachia, which is the more like wild. There are some settlements in Appalachia, but not as many. It's more of wild vegetation, nature type situation, I believe. We're gonna say it's that way because that's how how I play. I like to all the shots with the setting, because I'm really bad at reading setting very specifics. um, but yeah, let's go ahead. Uh, so starting to get the vibe that Chaos Gods are old gods. I mean, we could throw some old gods in here, and it would be pretty cool. It's actually an eldritch being that's on the way to destroy this artifact. And hey, Starheart, thank you for stopping by. And I'm gonna take a quick swig of water because I have been rambling. But yeah, just thank you so much. And we're now basically, I know I've already started, with a little bit of dice rolls and, getting the ball rolling. But I guess this is basically how I play solo. Like, I kind of tell a story with myself and the GM emulator and dice. I kind of write out some things that would make sense. I fill in gaps myself and use the GM emulator to fill in, blanks if I need to. If you have any questions about solo play or the Entropic Isle or the new Cypher rules, which are on the screen right now that I'll be, utilizing this time around, yeah, feel free to ask, talk about it, talk about your solo plays, whatever. We're here to hang out. I don't know how far we'll get with this session, but yeah, we're definitely going to try to have some kind of either cliffhanger or resolution to this one shot here. So yeah, let me have some water and yeah, we'll keep it going. I really do wish I had my second monitor set up so I can like read chat as I played and stuff. But yeah, I'm working with what I got. All right, so we got a good beginning setup, right? And I feel weird not having my sunglasses on. I'm putting them back on. I tapped back to OBS and I saw myself. I was like, whoa, wait a second here. Woo! Already with the yeah, just a single monitor. Yeah. I got pretty good at multi-tabbing and whatnot, and I can use OBS itself as like a piggyback window. I can kind of see my stuff here. Oh shit! And I haven't looked at Moonbeam chat. Open that up real fast too, just to have all my. But let me see. What was this? What was this? Audience Intrusions. You have a gummy bear companion gremlin that's wearing a CypherCon t-shirt and is a chaos gremlin. Okay. So let me see how we're gonna incorporate that. Well, alright, so firstly, right, I have a perfect way to incorporate this, right? So let's go ahead and copy that real fast. And let me go ahead and open my notes here. That's a little fun addition, right? So we'll say with that intrusion, along with what you call all the world changing stuff, or the world changing thing that happened when Narésh ruined time travel, right? He also what you call it the Cypher gremlin appeared like near him. But the weird thing is Narésh perceives it as like a new thing, like, hey, like where did this guy come from, like what's going on here? But everybody else around him is like, what do you mean? The that we gotta name the gremlin, but the gremlin has been here the whole time. Like, the Chaos God literally altered reality to like stitch this weird gremlin in place. And previously, and again, we'll retcon some stuff here, because I actually did roll out a pet for Narésh. If you look here, I made an ankylosaur for him. Oh, why is it not on one page? Let's move this. So now, instead, Justice, the Vigilant Ankylosaur, is now. Like, I'm gonna like exit out because I don't want to like actually. I don't know how to do what is it? Strike through in Google Docs. Is there? Can I strike through with right click? Well, pretend it's strike through, and we're exiting this whole thing, right? It's gone. Now, instead, we have Cypher Gremlin, or excuse me, a Cypher Unlimited Gremlin, right? I guess, or CypherCon Gremlin is more specific. CypherCon Gremlin is now my companion, right? So long, Narésh has memories of Justice, but when he questions anybody around him, they have no idea who Justice was or is. Like, it's always been the CypherCon Gremlin. But he'll have the same stats essentially, just so we're not changing too much. So have a resource pool of 6. I'm just gonna I'm gonna pretend this is crossed out by underlining it. And now, instead, it is the Cypher Gremlin. But he has the same stats. We might change Vigilant. I guess it would make sense to change Vigilant to maybe like something like, you know, Chaotic. The Chaotic Cypher Gremlin. Oh my god. And I definitely don't think he would have any armor. We can change that. He doesn't have any armor. He'll have the same wounds. And he'll have the same difficulty intellect task to command him. Because, oh, thank you for that shortcut. But in this context, again, in Predation, if you've never played Predation, when you're a tier 1 character, it's a difficulty 3 intellect roll to command your companion and tell it what to do. Because they have a bit of agency. In Predation, your companion is played by a whole nother player at the table. So when you fail that roll, that player goes off of the companion's little descriptor there. In this case, it would be the chaotic Cypher Gremlin, Cypher Gremlin. And so, if someone else was role playing it, or I guess me in this case, or we can probably use the GM emulator in some way, when that roll to command it and tell it what to do fails, it's going to go off and do something chaotic instead. And we got to decide something that's a benefit for me in this situation. Because in Predation, the companion also had a benefit with that little descriptor there. There's also a negative, like Vigilant is like, the way you roleplay that is like, they're too vigilant, so they warn you about every little thing, even if it's not significant. Like, they're always on edge, basically. So with a Chaos Gremlin, we already have the negative, right? If I fail at telling them what to do, like, something goofy is gonna fucking happen, right? That's a pretty big negative already. But what would be a decent positive for Chaotic? I think for that, we can look at actually Predation. And again, I'm playing like I would play if I was playing by myself. So you get a little insight into how my mind works when I play solo play. It just takes a little bit longer because I'm actually explaining my thought process as I do the things. So let's go ahead and look at Predation, and I would look at the companions list, right? And then look at other, what is it? Where's the companions? No, this is character creation. Why is it not? Alright, maybe there's a side here. Types, descriptors, companions, creating your companion. There we go, creating your companion. I would go and look at the list they have here for their, you know, whatever descriptors. I forget exactly what they're called for the right here, dispositions. There we go. I would see what might be closest to chaotic and then use that. So let's see here. So we got clever, curious, clumsy was the first one, I think. We got flashy. Oh, clumsy's down here. Is there another one up here that I missed? No. So the first one is clever. We got flashy, intimidating, sociable, vigilant, timid. There's actually not quite a lot here. You know, that I just read all of them. So I think what would be closest to, well, and again, in this situation, if I'm not finding something I feel like thematically is close enough, like none of these reads chaotic to me, I'll read what the benefits these provides are, and try to craft my own benefit that would be similar-ish, right? So let's see what we got. So for clever, you would get you get assets on a bunch of stuff. Wow, that is a bunch of different shit they give you assets on. Because it's clever, it helps you figuring out stuff, opening, discovering things, contraptions, mechanisms, blah, blah, blah. Oh, I know it's a good one. I think this is actually an ability, but I think it's a good one to give. Where is it? Not the equipment. Where's, I gotta find it. Like, each companion gets to pick. Yeah, here they go. Yeah, there are abilities. Each companion gets an ability that you choose, right? And I think I had chosen like tackle or something for you know, the ankylosaur. But I think for the chaotic gremlin, there's one that makes sense because it was essentially birthed through a time anomaly, right? There is Temporal Hunter. There we go. Your companion has an enhanced ability to locate time anomalies. Your companion is trained in finding time anomalies. Excuse me. And then if they're already trained to become specialized, whatever, right? And alternately, if they assist you while you're looking for them, they give you an asset on the search. Yeah. So I think this is a good one. They're a Temporal Hunter. And I'll copy that whole thing there. That's a good one. I think that's a good addition for my goblin here, and I gotta work. I'm sorry. So instead of stampede, or excuse me, instead of vigilant benefit, he has chaos birth benefit, and that's Temporal Hunter. He can locate time anomalies real good, because he came out of one. It's basically his parents. He knows how to find his parents. But yeah, that's his like innate ability, right? So we gotta give him an actual ability because companions also get abilities, right? I'm open to suggestions too if you guys want to have some say. Let me read Starheart's little description again. He's a gummy bear. Okay, gummy bear gremlin. So I'm assuming Chaos Gremlin is like the disposition, right? So I guess I should write that in a little more, what is it? Accurately. So it's the gummy bear, and then let me read this. Chaos Gremlin. So that would be the gummy bear, and then CypherCon. We just know that's just like. It's a CypherCon gummy bear because it's wearing CypherCon stuff, and we add the CypherCon gummy bear. We add chaotic in front because that's its. Well, add Chaos Gremlin because that's exactly how it was worded. I like to. Chaos Gremlin is his disposition, and he's the CypherCon gummy bear. There we go. That's better. You should have known that. I mean, when I open up things to audience, like I never know what to expect. Last time, I think Jesus. I don't think Jesus is in the chat now, but he generally comes around. What you call it? He dropped, and I don't know if Sir James was making a reference to that earlier, but the Shark Gorilla or Sharkrilla, he dropped like Jesus dropped something similar on my character in that game, and that thing had a like a ice machine gun, like a snow machine gun. So like, I never know what to expect because again, I like that stuff. So, it had a snow machine. There we go. But yeah. So we'll say for his benefit, because he's so chaotic in nature, he's a gummy bear, right? Oh well, that's a good one. A gummy bear, right? Well, we'll just go with something of what he is, right? So he's gummy. We'll say that grants it 1 armor because it's not really, you know, soft, I guess, or whatever. It's not living tissue. I don't know how to explain that. Or we could maybe say, because it's gummy. Yeah, armor just makes the most sense, right? I think. So it'd be 1 armor. And what that means, what that translates to in the new Cypher rules is that it's 1 step easier for them to block stuff. I believe. Let me look back at the rules. Yep, armor, yep, dodges, hinders dodge and eases block. So instead of reducing damage, it makes it blocking easier, and then if you block successfully, the severity of the wound is dropped by 1. Cool. So the gummy bear is actually hard to hurt. A little harder to hurt. I guess that makes sense. Because again, it's gummy, it's whatever, right? I personally think that makes sense. 1 armor from being hard to damage, I guess. Or light armor, I guess, is what it's called now. Like, instead of having you know, I guess it was light armor that provided one armor. Now it's just light armor. So armor would be light. Yeah, that makes sense, I think. And we'll keep the resource pool the same. The way I'm working that is, even though the gummy bear has its own wounds and stuff, and what is it, resources, it still should add. Again, NPCs, I don't know how the new rules handle it. I'm not privy to that. They didn't explain it to me. I guess I could have asked, but instead I'm gonna kind of just wing it. And we'll say like when and it's not Justice. Like what the hell is this guy's name? We gotta name him. Name, or excuse me, his name is actually Name. I don't know. We'll name him. We'll see if the GM emulator has a name thing, or I guess Starheart can name him if they'd like, because they're the one who enacted this. But yeah, I'm making, you know, going with the flow, and I think that the NPCs should heal and whatever in the same way that a PC would. So with their resource pool, instead of having an HP pool, they can rally, which if you look at gameplay, they can recover some of their wounds and stuff. And we'll go with the predation rules that when the PC does a recovery roll, they'll do a similar recovery roll where, you know, in the newer rules, it'll also remove some wounds, as you see here. I'm not going to read it out loud, but you can read it while it's on the screen here. But yeah, I think that was pretty good opening, what you call it, GM or audience intrusion there. So Nami, we'll go with Nami. But Nami written the way you have it, or Name the way I wrote it, which is basically name with an accent, which I think is funnier. It's Name already. Because it's also very similar to Naresh's name, because you know, the accent mark. I just like typing that, so that's why I like to include it in names. I learned how to, and again, I sorry I'm getting sidetracked. I always get sidetracked when I do these things. I learned how to type that, you know, the E with the accent mark because of Pokemon as a middle schooler or something. I needed to know how to type it at will. So it is Alt 130, you know, hold Alt, press 130 on the numpad, and that's how you type that. So we'll go with that as the name for our gummy bear gremlin here. And again, sorry for how little actual story is happening right now. Because again, with solo play, a lot of solo play, and at least for me, is in moments like this, where there's an unexpected situation where audience intrusion, or if I was by myself, GM intrusion, or you know, something of that nature, and I get to like think about it, like what it means for my character, what it means for the world, all that stuff. And again, that's part of gameplay for me. Even though I'm not really progressing the story too much, this is how I play solo play. So, yeah, you see I'm smiling. This is a ball. I'm having a fucking blast right now. And again, I get a little self-conscious when I do these like solo things, and sorry again. There's not really much story happening yet, but I am having a blast. So let's go ahead and get back to our gummy bear here, and they are Name. I'm gonna just write it normally because I don't know how to do the capital E with the accent mark. And yeah, now we have the GM intrusion, or excuse me, the audience intrusion has all been worked out here. And this guy just doesn't exist anymore. Sorry, Justice. Goodbye. I just deleted him because he got deleted from history, so, you know, we can't hold on to the past. He's gone. Oh, shit. Oh, wait, what? Another audience intrusion? Maybe I should have put it on a longer cooldown. On the first critical fail, you summon a graveling or graveling that on a roll of a d20 on a crit fail, the graveling for 1 round, it appears, it tries to kill you, Inami, and any other roll it tries to kill you. Alright, so quick question on that. Just expand on what a graveling is, or graveling? Graveling kind of sounds like a zombie? But I'm not 100% sure what that is. So kind of explain that, and I'll write that down too, so it doesn't get forgotten. Let me add that to gameplay here. Top here somewhere. Impending. What is it? Audience intrusion. Oh wait, let me main text paste it. Let me add a horizontal line here. And again, sorry if I saw that little intrusion late, because again I'm working with one monitor here. But yeah, so there we go. We got that written down. We'll wait to see what exactly a graveling is. Is the gremlin from the dead. The gremlins and dead like me help Grim Reaper kill them. Oh, okay. Okay, so it's like a mini Grim Reaper. Okay, I'm gonna write that down so I don't forget. So it's a graveling, and I'll add the E just so we know exactly what it is. And in parentheses we'll write Grim Reaper Jr. Just because I like being goofy sometimes. It's Grim Reaper Jr. Oh yeah, and that also just brings to mind the imagery of Scooty Puff Jr. But yeah, Grim Reaper Jr. And it'll appear for one round, or on a crit fail. It'll appear for one round. On the first critical fail, he'll appear. So we'll flavor that. He'll be watching over what's happening. And that for the one round it appears. So then, all right. So you may need to explain this one too. So the thing that procs its action, right? The D20 a crit fail, it tries to kill me and Name. Any other roll tries to kill my foes. Is that like just a roll I do after the next critical fail, or is it like associated with my next attempted task? I guess would be another clarifying question on that. But yeah, that's a pretty cool one. I like that. And again, it kind of fits the whole theming of the Chaos God is now out to get Narésh, now that they're aware of Naresh's presence after using the time machine. So yeah, I like that a lot actually. But let me go ahead. A next attempted task. Alright, so let me write that down. Task. And let me bold this so we don't forget. Oop. My notes are not too hard to read on the screen here, and forgive me if they are. Kind of made this whole setup on the fly. But yeah, so now Narésh, having just caused the end of time travel as the people of Grevac know it, right? He didn't tell anybody, because of course why would he? But the people around him just like all their machines failed. When they go to use it again, it doesn't work. So they just know that when Narésh, again, the first time he ever went to go use it, time travel catastrophically failed. So they kind of, maybe some people suspect it was because of him, but they don't have any proof, right? The Chaos God didn't put it on any monitors. Hey, I'm, stalking Narésh. He didn't tell, the Chaos God didn't make it known to the world. He only made it known to Narésh. So I'm gonna drink some more water because all this talking is a lot. Think of a specialized. That would be cool. But yeah, don't worry about finding pictures. And I guess if the thing with solo play is you can't plan really for a lot of stuff. So I did have a picture of the ankylosaur, but I can't finding imagery and whatnot on the fly. I don't generally do that. I like to use my imagination. But again, in situations like this where I'm streaming and someone's doing an audience intrusion, they want to be like, "Hey, this thing appears," and they just send me a picture. That's fine too. I'll open it up. I'll try to display it on stream if I can. The play material should be a little more zoomed in actually. I'm not gonna bother that right now because I don't want to fuck up the stream. Was it 100%? Yeah. 100%. Oh yeah, and, I didn't show this earlier, but I have the weird open because I'm also using this as a solo play supplement. I love the art, so we're gonna leave this on here for a second. Let's just take a good look at it. Here. Oh no, you're here to while you made it just in time. Not just in time. Why we have about 45 minutes left. And again, this will be on YouTube tomorrow, like we normally do. Yeah, no, and I appreciate the description star heart. Yeah, I asked what they look like. Yeah, so, but in my head, I pictured it as like a Grim Reaper Junior, like it's just a mini Grim Reaper, like a little ghost, little ghosty, and yeah, hopefully you get to stick around for a while. And so yeah, back to the story at hand, because I think we resolved the audience intrusions pretty well. You know, got them set up for the next ones, and I drank my water. It is quite a bit just talking and talking. I will say that. But yeah, so Narésh in this moment he gets that flash, and just as a quick summary for Lost Damon who just showed up, Narésh went into the time travel machine in Predation times. You know, he lived in that time for a long time, and after some complacency and whatnot, he decided, hey, I'm gonna try time travel. And once he tries it, he fails, catastrophically fails, and in his mind, only his mind, he got a flash from the Chaos God, saying like, hey, I found you, I finally found you, I know where you are, I'm bringing doom to your world. And in that, your new world, talking about, you know, Grevac. And in that, let me put it up here because I think I wrote it down. Where is it? Yeah, there was an like time anomalies opened, and something that popped through was a very powerful artifact that is now about to be destroyed by something. But Chaos, Narésh also was informed of that by the Chaos God. He was taunting him like, hey, you know, along with, you know, finding where you are, I've opened up portals of chaos around the world, around your world, and something that came through could have helped you, but something is on the way to destroy it. You have 4 days. Like, he literally taunted him with that exact information. But only Narésh. Like, everyone you know, of the Cretaceous period, Grevac, they just know that it failed when Narésh tried to time travel. And at the start of each day, we will roll another, you know, the world changes roll to see what else might change in the world be due to the Chaos God's influence that is now present in Grevac. But yeah, so with that in mind, or with that, you know, being said, Narésh would then, you know, get out of the time machine. You know, everyone's panicking. No one knows what's happened. He tries to help best he can. You know, the scientists of, you know, of the research facility. I forget who runs it. We'll just say Sati, or, you know, whatever scientists from, you know, the future. They're panicking. They're, you know, trying to troubleshoot machines. They're trying to, you know, the hardware guys come running in. They're trying to, like, you know, get the short-circuiting, sparking machines to stop doing that. It's literally chaos taking place in the, you know, control room of the time travel machine, right? And Narésh is kind of, you know, pushed to the side in all this. You know, they know he can't really help. He doesn't know. He doesn't have any mechanical knowledge. Like, he's just a visitor from another time, and, you know, through his years of living there, they just know that, you know, maybe Narésh has a basic understanding of how machines work and stuff, but machines are essentially, in the Entropic Isle, would be lost artifacts, like artifacts that would be, you know, from the previous world, before, when gods existed in a world he never knew. So all these machines are like essentially magic to him. But he kind of started understanding it more and more because, you know, in this world it's pretty prevalent, and, you know, there were people there who understood science and could explain it to him. So it became less magic and more, you know, in his mind, you know, hey, people learned how to, like, harness machinery. Like, their magitech isn't powered by magic. It's just, you know, science. Like, he came to understand more of a mechanical, electronic science. In his world, science, you know, Entropic Isle, science would be, you know, magic infused, you know, technology, or, you know, relics from the past, very far past. And Yeah, things of that nature. Like usually there's some kind of magical whatever component or unknown component. So that the fact that he was able to speak to people that have knowledge on how things are created, of course he would want to know, right? He worked for the Academy, which is like a knowledge-based institute in the Entropic Isle, and of course he would want to learn more. But again, a lot of this stuff is, he's been here, we'll say like 4 or 5 years. That's a lot to learn in that time, from coming from a world where it's magic. So he again might understand that it's technology and stuff they can make and work on, but it's not anything he can really do right now. Again, he's a mirror mage, and what that means is he can copy and be good at things he sees people do. But I would still say, like, even in this situation, him watching someone do something, it's not like, he's still not going to be helpful. So he's going to stay out of the way, and he'll especially stay out of the way knowing, hey, I caused this. Like, he's going to sheepishly kind of like let himself be pushed away, right? Yeah. So yeah, the scientists of the time are dealing with the situation as he goes back to his home, wherever that might be in Laramidia, within Kalano, on Laramidia, in Kalano, which is the town, Kalano, which is the town. He has a little home they gave him, or he earned, or whatever, over the years. And of course, he has Name, the gummy bear, alongside him. That's his new, apparently his longtime companion, as far as the people around him are aware of. Like, they tell him, Name has been here the whole time. Who's Justice the Ankylosaur? Like, we have dinosaurs. You've always had this guy with you, this little gummy bear gremlin. This has always been with you. And it confuses Narésh because that's never been the case. Chaos God literally changed time and reality when all this occurred. And hey, what up, Aloof? Thanks for coming by. I'm taking another swig while you get situated, because that's a lot of talking. Oh, jeez. Really don't know when's a good time to, like, pause my talking for a moment when I'm alone, right? So it's just a constant stream of words and my inner thoughts on how I'm playing solo and blah, blah. But either way, Narésh, sheepishly kind of puts himself in the background and heads home as scientists are dealing with the aftermath of what happened here. And he goes home and he's talking with Name, just, I guess, trying to learn more about him. And Name just, he's kind of not very focused, I would say, being a chaos gummy bear, right? He doesn't super pay attention to what Narésh is saying. He barely, listens to commands, because when Justice was around, he got Justice, the Ankylosaur, as a product of the time. And, he was able to tell, they're somewhat intelligent. He could tell them what to do, right? He's very focused on chaos. That's a good one. But yeah, so he's just, again, when he tells Name, hey, go get me a glass of water or something, like, Name will be like, sure thing, boss. And he'll come back with a cup of milk or something, right? Like, something ridiculous. Something not asked for. And then, like, again, what would it, well, I don't know, I'm bad at probabilities, but it's difficult to retask to tell him what to do. So it'd be like, was a 9 out of 20, so was it 9 times out of 20? He'll do what you say, or whatever the number was. It 11 times out of 20, or whatever the the funny probability is, right? If you roll 8 or lower, he doesn't do it. So 12 times out of 20, he'll do what you say. I'm sure that can be broken down some, but I'm tired, and I think it's funnier to say it 12 times out of 20, to whatever, right? But yeah, you and again, you have this urgent mission now, so you would ask, Narésh would ask once he gets home, because he doesn't want to talk about this in public, right? And when he's walking home, we would say, like, from the research facility, it's probably like 2 hours walk home, like 3 hours. Like it'll be nighttime or whatever by the time he gets home. Let's say this is happening during the day, right? And he lives in like, you know, the major city, so that research facility that houses the time machine exists in Kelano, so it'd be reasonable to assume he lives somewhere close by, right? You know, the government or whatever, Sati, helped him get situated with housing and stuff, so it would make sense that he lives close-ish, right? So he's walking home, you know, he takes his 3 hours to have like kind of banter with Name to see like what he can get out of him, and there's not really much. Like, again, we kind of said, you know, it would be every now and then he'll answer correctly, but most of the time he's saying nonsense or you know, responding maybe like quizzically or like in riddles or something, right? It's hard to communicate well with Name is what I'm getting at here. So yeah, the walk home, you don't really discover much or anything right now. I say you, like I'm the GM, right? Narésh doesn't really discover much, right? We can even use the GM emulator here. Let's go ahead and ask the GM emulator. We'll say it's a low chance, right? In all this questioning in this 3-hour walk home, does Narésh learn anything useful or like, you know, worthwhile, anything like that from this chaotic gummy bear? It'll say it's a low chance of yes, right? It's a low chance. So we'll see. Well, I like to roll 3 times on the GM emulator. So 1, 2, 3. I don't think it changed 3 times. There we go. 3rd time it changed. And no, we don't learn anything. If you see there's a low chance, we of course not. He's chaotic. He's answering in riddles and shit. Like it's hard to get a beat on whatever this gummy bear knows. And whenever he does answer truthfully or like, you know, well enough to be coherent, he's essentially making up details about your history with him, because, you know, in Name's mind and in this reality that the chaos got stitched together, Name always existed. When what is it, when we go far back to when Narésh first landed here, existed alongside him, Name. So instead of, you know, Narésh, his memories weren't altered, so he has to, you know, ask what the gummy bear what he knows, right? And the people of, you know, this place who know him didn't know him when he was surviving out in the wild when he first got here, right? So they just found him with this guy, right? You know, in this, you know, new past. So what he, like, when the man actually answers truthfully, he's making up details about their survival in that time period before Narésh was discovered. And he'd say things, or Name would say things like, oh yeah, of course, you know, I remember that time I had to cut off my paw, and, you know, you needed food really bad, so I cut off my paw and you ate it. And, you know, luckily it grows back after a week, right? Like, he made up a lot of stuff like, oh yeah, remember that time when, you know, we had to like set up a trap and you caught this little like a mammal, like a little lemur, and you had to eat the lemur. And he, like, Name, again, being chaotic or whatever, you know, with, you know, sort of like the chaos gods, like, influence, would kind of laugh at sort of these like situations. Like, you remember you caught that scared lemur and you had to cook it and eat it. And again, Narésh maybe had to, you know, catch and kill something at some point, but it was never a lemur, and it was never like, you know, it was never like you know, Narésh didn't take pleasure in this. But the gummy bear maybe said, "Hey, like, you remember you were laughing with me alongside as we snickered as we caught the lemur, and, you know, we cooked it and ate it." And Narésh gets an uneasy feeling because he knows, like, the gummy bear's probably telling the truth, because history was literally changed in all the conversations he had before he left the facility. You know, he was confused, asking people like, "Hey, what is this? What is this guy?" They are, "Oh, that's just Name. You know, the guy you're always with." So these little weird, unsettling details that Name's revealing are probably true to some degree, but like, Narésh can't really tell for sure. So again, that walk home is not super fruitful for Narésh and, you know, his conversations with Name. So yeah, after this 3 hours, they get home. And sorry, I gotta take another drink of water, hydrate, and also my throat is very dry. Yeah, on this setting, they get home, and now Naresh has private time with Name, right? And I can ask him really about the Chaos God and more serious things, not just about his past, or excuse me, their past in this place. Their new what Lost Demon said here. And is that you Lost? Like Lost from Discord, or is that just a coincidence? But either way, what Lost Demon said, timey-wimey revisionist history. So according, that's all we really talked about on the way here. But once they're home, like Naresh can really ask about the Chaos God and this impending, what you call it, the world changes prophecy that's coming to fruition, which is hey Lost, thank you for stopping by. I saw that you were gonna try to stop in, and I'm glad you were able to. I know you struggle with Twitch, so thank you. Oh shit, I also haven't looked at the Moonbeam chat in a while. Did I close it? Oh shit, I think I closed it. Oh no, there it is. Oh hey, Jason's over there. Hey Jason, I don't know how long ago you said that, but hey. Oh shit. It's kind of hard to track all these windows when you're multi-streaming or whatever. But not multi-stream, but having all these windows open in one monitor. But I think I'm making it work so far. But yeah, once they get home, they sit down at table or whatever. Naresh probably gets dinner ready, whatever that might be in this time period. He gets some dino eggs. Like, I like to be goofy. I picture he opens a fridge and there's a giant egg like in the Flintstones or something. And he goes to cook it all the stuff, like make an egg sandwich or something, right? Again, solo play is about, when you role play, you like to insert details and role play things out. Again, this is how I like to explain how I'm playing the game, solo playing. So yeah, that's actually what's happening. He's cracking a giant egg, whatever, as Name is now like, wandering, not really wandering around the house. Now that you're home, right, again, because you haven't been home since this happened, we'll say that Name, this gummy bear gremlin, actually has some stuff in the house. Like he goes to a corner or something, or a shelf, and he takes down his other CypherCon shirt, like he was wearing Kedub's shirt design, and he goes, oh, we've been out, I need to go change, and he takes off his shirt and puts on Sin's design, and that confuses the shit out of Naresh. Not really, because he knows that the Chaos God changed reality, so he just kind of like silently bookmarks that, like, oh, reality did change, like he does live here with me, like, oh, that stuff he told me on the way here is probably true, but again, he might have been saying it to mess with my mind. Again, Naresh is thinking this, not saying it to the gummy bear, because who knows how in the pocket of the Chaos God this gummy bear is. We don't know, right? We don't know. That's an unknown. But yeah, so after silently noting that, like, hey, the gummy bear, like, has actually always been here, and he's cooking his egg, trying to seem nonchalant, whatever, he, makes a sandwich, goes to the table and sit down with Name, and now he would start questioning him, like, hey, so I know you're here because of the Chaos God. I know it. I got that flash in my mind. He taunted me in his usual way, like, and I got a flash of the prophecies from the slabs. I even saw the slab in your time, where I come from, where we come from. Like Naresh is even, like, I'm trying to speak in character as Naresh, and he's struggling to say the right words because he's like, flustered about this happening and whatnot. So he's like, you came from my time. You're like, the Chaos God taunted me. You know how he operates. I saw a flash of the Chaos slabs, the prophecy slabs, and I know that he's fulfilling currently the sacred weapon that can be used to weaken him, or whatever. Like, I know that's about to be destroyed in 4 days. Like, he taunted me. He told me. So what do you know? Like, and as he has egg like literally on his face, because he's trying to eat too. He's hungry. It's been a crazy day. So Narésh has egg on his face as he's like interrogating and like, spazzing out at this little gremlin, and the gremlin. So we can roll here because right now we want the Chaos Gremlin to tell us stuff, right? Tell us what's going on. Like, what do you know? Like, what actually, like, do you just exist as you, or do you know something that I should know? Like, what's going on here? And we'll make this like the first actual, I guess, game roll, right? Because we haven't done any game rolls. Narésh is gonna use like the Predation companion rule, difficulty 3 task, intellect task to tell, hey, Name, tell me what you know, please. Like, I'm losing it here. Reality changed. Like, Chaos God now knows I'm here. Like, what's happening? Like, he's losing it. So let's go ahead and open up the dice roller. And I'm using 2d20 for my task resolution. And if you play Cypher, task resolution is just a d20 roll. But with solo play, and I got this off the server, off the Cypher Unlimited server. I forget who said this. It might have been, Charlie? It might have been someone else who does a lot of solo play. I'm sorry, I'm blanking on the name. But when they solo play, and I haven't actually had a chance to put it into practice, so it's gonna be first time trying it really. You roll 2 d20s, and if the GMI, the GM intrusion d20 matches your task resolution d20, like you roll doubles, right? A GM intrusion happens, like, and that's on top of if I rolled a 1 or whatever, right? That would be another, as per the rules, GM intrusion. But in solo play, that doesn't happen super often. And when you're in a game, when you're playing Cypher system in a group, the GM does intrusions not only when you roll one, but literally whenever they feel like it, right? So, I will be doing the doubles method. Charlie does odd rolls or prime numbers or something. I'm not sure who came up with the double method or who mentioned it, but I like it, so we're gonna go with the doubles method. So let's go ahead and roll 2 d20s. It's an intellect roll. I think Narésh probably would use effort here to make it easier for the guy, for Named to answer, right? So we're playing Cypher, we're gonna use effort. So Narésh has 1 edge in int. So let me go ahead and go to my character sheet. We're gonna go ahead and lower his int by 2 because it costs 3 to use. Oh, whoops! It costs 3 points normally, but he has the edge in it, so it reduces it by 1. That's the number in the parentheses here. So instead of costing 3 for the first level effort, only costs 2. Reduces intellect by 2, and so we're really want to know what the hell is going on. So let me go and open a dice roller, roll my 2d20, and we're doing this the same way as because there's a little output thing at the top that shows what you rolled, but it only shows you the sum of what you rolled. Doesn't show you the individual dice, so I can pick an order. So the leftmost dice is my task resolution dice, and the right dice will be the GMI dice. That if it matches the resolution dice, we get a GM intrusion. Let's go ahead and roll that. And again, it's a difficulty 2 task, so we need 6 or better to hopefully get this gremlin to tell some truths about what's going on. The leftmost dice is a 17. So that's definitely successful, and that's a 9 on the intrusion dice, so no intrusion. So Name will be cooperative in telling us what they know, right? What actually is happening. If they know things, do they know things? Let's find out. If you get that reference, you're goated. I'm not gonna say what it is. If you get the reference, say it in chat or say it in comments in YouTube. If you get that reference, you're amazing. I'm not gonna say what it is. And I'll repeat it. Does Name know things? Do they know things? Let's find out. I'm butchering the reference, but it's close enough to the reference you'd get it. But we now know through our dice roll that Name will be cooperative, because that was our Predation companion roll. He'll be cooperative in telling us, hey, what I know, or whatever, right? He'll be cooperative. But now, again, this is more unknown stuff, right? So now Naresh is sitting down with Name at the table, egg on his face, eating the sandwich, and thank you for the sub loss. Really appreciate that. What you call it? Now that they're, they know Named's gonna be cooperative. They gave him a successful command. We as the player, me outside, not the GM, what I don't know what Name actually knows, right? So now we got to go to the GM emulator, right? Now the GM emulator fills some stuff in, and so yeah, let's go over to that. And again, sorry if I can't see the chat while I open that up. Got all these fucking windows open here, and so I would say we would ask a yes/no question here, probably with even odds. Like it might be a yes, might be a no. Like it's pretty toss up, right? And I would say here, because again, I guess we could go with what would make a more interesting story, but we'll just go with what's even. And the question I have in mind here is, oh wait, I forgot about the intrusion from earlier, but I didn't critical fail, so nothing to worry about. I forgot that there was another audience intrusion, but we didn't fail, so nothing to worry about yet. But what I want to ask the GM apprentice, the GM emulator here, with yes or no, is does Name actually know something useful about the situation? Do they know? Oh, one thing I will say for sure, because we need a starting point for the adventure, right? We need some manner of direction to go, right? So I will say 100% for sure, and even this would have been outside the Predation companion command role, Name would definitely have informed of this because it's something I would have rolled to begin with. It just makes narrative sense for Name to have been the one to deliver this information. Oh, sorry, I'm again getting dry mouth. But let me go ahead and open up my notes here. Oh, wrong tab. I should just use Alt tab. We know for sure where, we don't know yet, we're about to roll for it, but at the bottom here you see where this rumor is taking place, right? So and to have a good starting point, GMs, when you play a game, will have an adventure set out, which, has locations and whatnot already determined because they're the GM. In a solo game, I like to set up my own table should I not have one available for the settings I'm playing, right? So I knew I wanted it to be on Appalachia because that's the more wild place. I wanted more, of a hard adventure, right? Or, difficult, right? So I knew I wanted to be on Appalachia. So I went to Appalachia and picked certain spots that I think would have made interesting locations to go to. I even picked an island that's in between the two continents. I think that's called the Eastward. Fuck. I'm just gonna look it up because we have the book, so we might as well just look. But the something Seaway. If I could just get to the map quickly. I actually don't know where the map is in the book. Let's have it here. I have too many tabs open, but the map is cool, so I want to show it. Here we go, the setting. If I was more competent at this, I would have had assets already ready. But this is the world map, and it's the area on the western interior seaway, which is where Betrayal Island is. And wherever we roll that we're gonna end up, I'll go and read the excerpt of it. If it's a very long excerpt, I'll read bits and pieces, because when I play solo, I like to use the general idea of what the area is, not super specifics if it's like a long-winded, entry or something. So yeah, let's find out where, Namad told us, in the beginning of his ramblings, you see, like, again, Namad normally has like a very, what is it, like, chaotic, that's not, chaotic isn't the right word, like flighty, like ditzy, I guess is a better word, right? Ditzy disposition, like he's aloof. Aloof. The word was right in front of me. He's aloof. So when Naresh goes to actually ask him the serious things, and Nameh is actually gonna, cooperate seriously, there's a focus to Named that Naresh hasn't seen before, in these 3 to 4 hours that he's known him. Known like 3 to 4, that he's known him in his reality, timey-wimey shenanigans, whatever, has always known him. Name has always known Naresh, whatever, right? But Name gets this serious look on his face, and on this gummy bear, the gummy bear is actually able to make expressions. It's not a static face of a gummy bear. Like, it has expressions. The mouth moves when it talks. Like, it's not a static thing. It's alive for all intents and purposes. It makes a very serious expression, and it tells Naresh, the chaos god flows through me. I am him. He is me. And of course the prophecies follow. And the first one, the sacred weapon to be destroyed, it landed. It came through one of those time portals and landed in. Let's roll a d6 and see where it came from. Does reset? Okay, I can just hit reset instead of going to the drop down every time. Roll a d6. The time portal appeared in Sylvan's crater. I'm gonna bold this and then get rid of all the other. I mean, I'm not gonna get rid of them because it's nice to have just a table on hand. But I will separate it just so we know. Sylvan's crater. This very serious gummy bear all of a sudden says in a very deep, like, almost like, again, very typical demonic thing, right? It's harmonizing with itself, like it's talking in two voices essentially. So it's talking in its own, like, goofy voice that it has, but again, much more subdued and low in tone, on top of the chaos god's rumbly, deep baritone, whatever you call. I'm bad at terminology, but very deep, demonic voice. May not be his actual voice, we don't know, but it's what he's projecting through the gummy bear, right? This is a hell of a fucking scene that's happening. But he tells him he tells Naresh in Sylvan's crater. That weapon came through. The sacred weapon it's here. It came here when you came here. Or excuse me, it came here when I came here. I know the people around you say I've always been here, but you know the truth. You know I haven't been here this whole time. So and Naresh interrupts. I know that you, or the chaos god, whatever you call yourself, has changed reality, and you're dead set on destroying this weapon that's been, I don't even know why you sent it, just to taunt us even more. Like, you could have just left that device, whatever it is, in our time. You control the chaos, no? And Name replies, what fun would that be? What hope, what good is squashing hope when it doesn't exist? You need the hope for me to take it away. So, I've informed you that it exists. It exists in Sylvan's crater. I dropped it there for you. But in 4 days, something will destroy it. It will be eliminated from this reality. So, it could help you. It could bring you back to your time, to our time. It could kill me, maybe. I'm not going to tell you. But I will tell you, it will be destroyed, eliminated from existence in 4 days' time. And after saying that, Name kind of snaps back to that goofy, like, smiley, like, looking around, like, fiddling with shit on the table, like, demeanor. And, Naresh just, like, he's sweating at this point, like, oh, shit, 4 days. Sylvan's crater. What do we know of Sylvan's crater? And he has a library, a small library in his house, either of notes he's put together himself, or of notes he's been given, you know, notebooks or, you know, textbooks or whatever kind of documents he's been given, maybe even digital like data pads, you know, because you know, tech is pretty futuristic here. So he goes and he tries to find out, well, Sylvan's Crater. I know that name. I know that name. What's Sylvan's Crater? Because again, I personally, out of character, I don't fully know. I looked through the section. I was, oh, this sounds interesting. Let me put it on the list. And so let's find out. Let's open up Predation. And I actually think we're gonna end it here on a cliffhanger, and we'll find out about Sylvan's Crater. And when you know, maybe we'll find out maybe a little more specifics from Name about the situation if we can. But we're gonna wrap up here because we're getting to time. I gotta you know, pick up my significant others from work, so you know, we're reaching that end of, you know, the session time. Look, so cliffhanger. I think this is a pretty good cliffhanger moment, and we're at time, so I think that's what we're gonna do here. So again, what you call it? And again, I enjoy this a lot, right? And Starheart, this is so your thing doesn't go to waste. I want to make this a running series, right? I want to do this, like, maybe not often, because my energy levels are pretty bad. Like, you guys know me, I like to be, like, transparent, right? I struggle to do things like this on a super regular basis, especially on my own. But I do want to make this a series of sorts. So consider this episode 1, and I'm going to label it as such on YouTube. And, you know, I do plan to come back to it, so these notes will still be in place. Your impending intrusion on my first critical fail will still happen, unless it happens right now for some reason. But yeah, I do want to make this a series, so look forward to more from Narésh and Name, because I really like the duo, and I want to continue this. I want to keep doing it. So yeah, if you enjoyed this, let me know. If you're watching this on YouTube or listening to it on Spotify or whatever, let me know you enjoyed it. So, you know, I have, you know, more confidence to continue, because again, I struggle with that imposter syndrome, that anxiety doing things like this on my own. But yeah, this has been a blast, but let's continue. We still have a few more minutes. I'll probably even go over time. I just wanted to get that out there before we continued and read about Sylvan's Crater. So let's go ahead and open up Predation here, and I can probably just Alt F Sylvan's Crater. Is that table? Yeah, there we go. Alright, so let me, why does it keep going back? 100%. There we go. So let's scroll down a little bit. Oh, it's actually a short paragraph. Okay, cool. Take off my sunglasses so I can read a little better. And this is like, again, I think reading this will be a good, you know, segue into, you know, stopping for next time. And I'll even like, we'll have a little, because again, with solo play, how I normally do it is I give myself, you know, I pretty much memorize it because I'm weird like that, but I'll generally keep notes on important beats. So to keep track of the solo play as we go, I'll go in my notes and we'll mark all this stuff down. But let's read about Sylvan's Crater real fast before we wind down. Oof. Along the northern edge of the plateau, in a grove filled with monkey puzzle trees and cypress, a deep impact crater has opened up the earth. Scattered all around the impact site are the long decayed remains of human bodies. Mostly what's left are the tattered remnant of Sati uniforms around bleached bones, broken equipment, and Sati issued supplies and debris. All around the crater, time anomalies pop up and disappear within seconds. Time tremors rage all along the outskirts, but never seem to enter the crater itself. Dinosaurs steer clear of the area. The only thing that seems willing to enter is a species of glowing green beetles, which burrow into the ground beneath the debris to make their home. Holy shit! Even though, again, this is something I absolutely love about solo play, right? I fucking love this aspect, right? This wasn't planned. Like, this aspect, like, oh fuck, I minimized it instead of alt-tabbing. Shit. This aspect, like Sylvan's Crater being the location we go to, and like, you know, this is a time travel heavy shenanigan, whatever situation I've set up with, you know, my random, what you call it, you know, roles up to this point, right? And you know, the discussion we've had or I've had, whatever, right? All my solo play has gotten to this point, right, organically. Like, I didn't plan any of this. And we're going to Sylvan's Crater, a place where there's time anomalies abound. There's a deep crater with weird green beetles that could potentially mean something, right? We'll again, with solo play, we kind of flesh out what they might mean with the GM emulator and our imaginations and stuff, right? So that's amazing. I love when things line up like this. And again, I didn't read this whole thing before I added it to the list, right? I'm excited because it's a surprise. I added it because it was a location on Appalachia that you know, I wanted to end up on Appalachia. That's just something I wanted to happen, so we predetermined that. But I went through the list of locations there and picked either what the name sounded cool, or like the first sentence was interesting, like or just the general idea of the place, like Sylvan's Crater. Just from a quick glance, again, not reading the specific, it's a huge crater that's in the world, that exists, right? I didn't read any of these specifics. These specifics fit our game and what we're doing right now so good. I love to see that shit. Like, that's amazing. So yeah, we're going to Sylvan's Crater. That's the last thing Named told us before snapping back to his like aloof and poofed demeanor. You know, he's a poofy gummy bear and he's aloof because he's a chaotic gremlin who has ADHD, doesn't pay attention to anything. He's extremely focused on chaos, so he doesn't really focus on things at hand. But in that moment, in that discussion, Narésh was able to tell Named, tell me what you know, and he was successful in that command. And that was what Named revealed. It's in Sylvan's Crater. He revealed that the Chaos God flows through him. So again, let me go into my notes here. And so what you call it is not really super gonna trust Named, but Named's gonna follow him around, and we'll say magically there's no way for Narésh to leave Named behind, right? So like if he ties him up, he's like, I don't want you to be with me, like I don't trust you. Like he ties him up, he gets out somehow. He locks him in a room. He turns around and Named is right next to him again, right? Like there's no getting rid of him for good. He could, like, Narésh could potentially tell Named with a successful command, like, hey, go do something for me that might be like weeks away, like, or a week or whatever. Like we can, again, through solo play, determine how far Named is willing to go. But eventually Named always comes back. There is no, even though Narésh knows, we know that the Chaos God flows through this gummy bear gremlin. We can't get rid of him. He's our buddy, whether we like it or not. And he does seem helpful. Like he's a Predation companion, so he should be helpful. But when he, again, we're still learning our relationship with him. Like, because we, as Narésh, only just learned of him, even though, our new reality says we've always known him. Through our solo play, we'll like figure out exactly how far Named will go disobeying his commands. Because in Predation, when you fail to tell your dinosaur what to do, you fall back on, another player at the table falls back on the dinosaur's disposition, which is, they're basically their descriptor, to determine what they do. So we're gonna have to use like the GM emulator, our imagination, some dice rolls, blah blah blah. But we really don't know fully to what extent the Chaos God flows through this gummy bear. Like, can he take active control? And like we know he could talk to him, but can he like take actions through the gummy bear? Can he like actively sabotage my efforts? Like, probably, but we don't know. That's something that's discovered through solo play and whatnot. But yeah, so we have the impending intrusion on there. That's something that's gonna be for next time, or you know, it'll be ongoing until it happens, right? What did we discover just now? Oh, there we go. We can actually add that to the character sheet because it's about Name, right? So, oh wait, why did it do that? I want to add lines. There we go. There we go. So we know, let's get rid of the underline. It doesn't need to be underlined because it's already not underlined. We know that Chaos God can speak through Name. Unsure what else. Well, what else did we just say? Chaos God can speak through. We don't know what else they'd be capable of. We'd find that out. We found out that we're going to, this is gameplay, we're going to Sylvan's Crater. So let's add that to the next line here, because this is going to be a long document eventually, right? So this section will just be notes on how we're playing, right? After returning home from time travel incident, or I guess we call that the last commute, or attempted last commute, because the commute didn't actually happen. Attempted last commute. I forget if in Predation lore they actually did a time travel and then it stopped working, or if they attempted to do it and it stopped working. I forget the specifics, but in our world, in this iteration of the universe, it was an attempted last commute. Or the last... I don't know what's the best way to... The last attempted commute. Narésh. Oh, my fucking wrist guard is fat fingering the keyboard. Narésh speaks with Name about their existence and what it means for his new world of Grevac. Sorry if I misspelled that. We're just going with that spelling for now. I can change it later. Chaos God speaks through Name, informing Narésh. I guess I like speaking in the third person. I could say us, I could say me, I, but I actually like documenting in third person. Chaos God speaks through Name, informing Narésh. And this is going to be very rough because if you're watching this, it's going to be, again, on YouTube. It's recorded, so if you want to see how the talk actually happened, you can just fucking go listen to it. Informing Narésh, the sacred weapon has landed in Sylvan's Crater, but shall be destroyed in 4 days' time. Or is it days? Like with apostrophe 4 days? No, whatever, 4 days' time. Whatever, we don't need to be grammatically correct here. The sacred weapon has landed in Sylvan's Crater, but shall be destroyed, or informing, or excuse me, the national sacred weapon has landed in Sylvan's Crater, but shall be destroyed in 4 days' time. In a very taunting manner. What else did we... I think that's it. That's all we really learned, and like that's our jumping off point for next time. Because we know it's 4 days. Like we don't know how long it would take to get it to Sylvan's Crater. Can we even make it in 4 days? Like, yeah, that's where the next session will pick up. Like we'll probably have to like find out. Narésh will have to find out where to go. To maybe get a boat or whatever, or flying device to get over there. Whatever. We have a very nice setup for the next time around. But yeah, let me make sure we have all our ducks in a row before we wrap things up here. But yeah, thank you so much, everyone, for stopping by. This was, again, a blast. I know there wasn't a ton of actual story progression, but we filled in a lot of, again, because this is how I like to play solo. This is my, I guess, preferred way how I do it, because solo play comes down a lot to your preferred playstyle and your preferred methods of doing things. So, like, discovering or figuring out unknown details and filling in blanks and, you know, using our imaginations to figure out what these filled in blanks mean, that all is quote unquote gameplay to me. So even though the story didn't progress a super long way, like we essentially just ruined time travel and went home and talked to a gummy bear, like that's literally all that happened in the story, for being real. like, um, and we played for almost an hour and a half. Like, again, story progression isn't the main point of solo play for me. It's all the aspects I just discussed, like figuring out what a GM or an audience intrusion might mean, what what the GM emulator or like our Imagine will fill in blanks in accordance to like these roles and stuff. All that stuff is quote unquote gameplay to me, even though we might not be doing actual Cypher system resolution roles. This is still essentially solo gameplay for me. So again, sorry if my vision of solo play differs from your vision, or if this wasn't super enjoyable because again, there wasn't a lot of story present actually. Instead, we focused more on like how I'm actually solo playing, because I do like to explain my mindset so that other people. I know a lot of people when they go to attempt solo play, they don't really know a good starting point, and I like to explain how I do things so that if anything strikes a chord with someone who's attempting solo play, all the better, right? If my mindset can help someone further their mindset on how they can grok or understand solo play, all the better, right? That's kind of what I'm going for here. It's like, not just showing off, Predation and, the Entropic Isle setting. It's more of, this solo play series will be, hey, this is how I play solo. I like to be very genuine, so it's not going to be like a very over-the-top produced thing. Like, this is how I play solo. Join me for the ride. Let's see where Narésh ends up in this world now that the Chaos God is following him through Grevac. In the body of this fucking gremlin gummy bear that I'm going to try to get art for the next time. But I love this stuff, and it's been a blast. And thank you guys so much for coming by, especially Lost and Starheart for chatting so much. And especially Starheart for the 2 audience intrusions we got. Because again, a large part of what we did in this session was figure out what's going on with this gummy bear, right? Because again, reality was altered where my companion ceased to exist, and now we have this gummy bear. So part of the gameplay was figuring out what he knows and how he acts and blah blah blah. Which I love that stuff. I love it. And I guess as a final thought before I go into my actual closing remarks is part of my love of solo play is figuring out these unknowns, is going into it not knowing everything, not having every detail planned out, and having either the dice or the GM emulator, the GM apprentice, or even the chat decide some aspects with randomness or whatever, right? Their imagination or my imagination through interpretation. That stuff is like the essence of solo play to me. Whereas I know some people prefer like a very, they like to be on track with a story. They like to follow a story through pretty thoroughly. Or they like to do hex crawls, or they like to do, dungeon crawls, whatever, right? There's so many different ways to do solo play. But this is what my essence of solo play is. And again, hopefully it was enjoyable. And yeah, we'll be doing more of it, or I'll be doing more of it. Maybe not on our normal nights of Tuesday and or Thursday, but I'm thinking maybe Fridays. But we'll figure it out. We'll figure out a day, and we'll make it a standard day, and maybe every other week, not every week. Because again, my levels are weird, my energy levels. But this was a blast. I enjoyed myself heavily. And again, this is how I enjoy solo play. So this is just me enjoying solo play with chat, with audience, with my community, with the Cypher Unlimited community. Yeah, this has been a great time. But let me go ahead and to close this out, let me reopen. Get to the title page of Predation, because that's kind of the main setting we're playing in. So might as well have it on the screen to close things out. Yeah, I don't think there's anything else really to comment on or say. Let me go ahead and get my ducks in a row, though. So we got caught up with the notes. Oh, actually, let me go look at the notes. We know, well, we had our start. We had a little description of what happened with the time travel incident. If we scroll down here, we see, what's going on currently in the story, like what's happening, and gives us a good jumping off point for next time. We got to find out how far Sylvan's Crater is, how we're gonna get there. Will Name actually be helpful in getting there, and will we get there in time to save this sacred weapon that's been planted there? Because, again, if you missed it early on, we started off by figuring out how the Chaos God changed Grevac. And a sacred weapon to be destroyed was the prophecy that was fulfilled. And we kind of determined that, hey, it was a sacred weapon that was dropped in Sylvan's Crater. We rolled dice to determine it would be destroyed in 4 days' time. And it could potentially either restore time travel, potentially get Narésh back to his own time, or potentially weaken or destroy the Chaos God. We don't know. So a lot of unknowns to still discover, a lot of adventure to be had on Sylvan's Crater, and I'm still flabbergasted at how good of a place that ended up being for this story. So, like, I'm excited to go there and see what's going on at Sylvan's Crater for us, because, oh boy, that description. Yeah, thank you again so much. This has been an absolute blast. Oof. And if you like us, you like what we do, join the Cypher Unlimited Discord. It is the biggest fan-run community for all things Monte Cook games. If you're not a huge fan of Discord, we also have a Facebook page where we, people comment, talk. Some people don't like Discord. No shade to them, but there is a Facebook page for people to congregate on. We also are now on the Anywhere door. We're currently live there. Sorry if I've missed any chat there, because again, my Windows situation is kind of bananas. I see that I haven't. But yeah, definitely check that out if you are interested in Monte Cook Games content. That is a place where all of us are gathering. Monte Cook Games basically selected 20 of us, I believe, about that ballpark. And we make content and put it on there and talk about it on there. So, yeah, if you need a place to just find a bunch of MCG content, that's the place to be. Our videos will always be free, but they will also be on YouTube following day. So check it out on YouTube. Give us a, subscription there, subscribe there. We're trying to get our numbers up, and all that helps. And definitely comment and like the video, helps the algorithm. We really appreciate all that. Hopefully someone will get the reference I was making earlier about what do they know. Let's find out. I'm actually very curious to see if someone actually listens and picks up on what that is. But yes, our videos are also on YouTube. And our videos are always free, but if you want to show us a little love financially, you can give us a donation on Ko-fi. But again, our videos are always free, so don't feel obligated to do that. But we really appreciate everyone who does support us there. And we also appreciate everyone who goes to our merch shop and purchases Cypher Unlimited merch, whether it be a hat, a shirt, mug, whatever have you, all our stuff. We really appreciate that. These CypherCon 2025 designs are still on there, so if you haven't checked them out, definitely check them out. They're not going to be on there forever. We will remove them eventually, like we did last year's and the year before's. But we like to give people a pretty big window for getting that stuff, because we know not everybody has money in the moment and blah blah blah. But yeah, they are still available, so definitely check that out if you haven't. I feel like I've missed a link of some kind, but whatever. I'm flying solo, so that's where we're going to end it. Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate everything. Really appreciate y'all coming and chatting, watching the video on YouTube, listening to it on Spotify, whatever. However you support us, I love you guys. Thank you so much. And from us at the CU, we will see you later.